Hi, my name is Eleonora, and my boyfriend ruined my life when he mutilated my perfect face. A few months ago, I was just an ordinary university student. I had a hard time getting into the uni, but I managed to enroll on a paid basis. I couldn't care less about midterms or finals. I'd often skip class and copy someone else's notes or find them online. Of course, I'd occasionally made a fool of myself. Like that one time I took a world literature exam and the teacher asked me for a brief account of a literary work. It was the one that I never read, so I lied that I hadn't finished the book with only 10 pages left to read. He chuckled, stared me up and down, and said, "Really? Just 10 pages?" I was at a loss until he burst out laughing. Apparently, the entire work was only a single page long. The other students were screaming with laughter. I remember those first years in the uni fondly. We'd go to movies after class or we'd go clubbing and dancing. It was all in good fun and we never did anything nasty. I had many friends, including my course mates and other guys who were my age. What I didn't have was a boyfriend. I dated around, but I didn't start any serious relationships. Until I fell in love anyway. The object of my affection wasn't a university guy. We met accidentally on a bus. He was so handsome and cute that he attracted my attention as soon as he walked in. Just like that, he started a conversation with me. Our first date was on the same night and we went out every day after that. My new boyfriend easily got along with all of my friends and he was already partying in a club with us 2 days later. He'd write us cheat sheets for exams, he'd cook for me and bring me tea when I was studying. There was one time when I almost failed because the exam questions were numbered and he mixed the numbers up when he wrote the exam notes for me. I had to actually muster up my own knowledge on the subject. This lasted for 6 months until he was drafted into the army for a year. Our entire dorm threw a farewell party for him. At that point, he was family. I took his absence very hard at first. I missed him so much. I'd text him every day and he'd respond without fail. We'd call each other when we could and I'd tell him whatever news I had. He wanted to hear it all, how it was going at the uni and how my friends were doing. But as days turned into months, I got used to living without him. It was business as usual, classes, parties, clubs, new friends, but he was always in my heart. The year of his army service flew by and my sweetheart was back, but he came back a different man. He'd raise an eyebrow at the things he used to laugh at. He flat out refused to drink or party with us again. Honestly, he was a drag to be around. No matter how I tried, I couldn't find a way to cheer him up and put his mind at ease. He became distrustful and sometimes outright aggressive to me. Once we were arguing about a popular entertainer and he threw a fit just because I disagreed with him. Another time, he hit my fellow student who put his hand on my shoulder. I did my best to warm his heart and keep his jealousy away. It didn't always work out. I had to wear a mask and suck up to him all the time and it felt like too much pressure. I still cared about him deeply though, so I hesitated to end it. But he did something that destroyed our last chance to save the relationship. A course mate approached me after class and asked me if he could borrow my textbook. Sure thing. As I handed him the book, he didn't just take it. Instead, he kissed my hand as if I was a Victorian lady. It was obviously a sign of affection, but that guy was a nerd. His round glasses were always sliding down to the tip of his nose. Nobody took him seriously, so I was amused by his advances. All of a sudden, my sweetheart materialized next to the poor dweeb and punched him in the ear. What the hell? I tried to tell him this was just an embarrassing thing to do, and he slapped me on the mouth so hard I could taste blood. This was so disturbing and insulting that I broke up with him on the spot. He stalked me for days asking for forgiveness, but I had made up my mind and I was committed to my decision. Finally, my ex disappeared for a few days and I was hoping it was over. I tried to get him out of my head. We were returning home from a nightclub as usual. It was late, so my friends gave me a lift to my apartment building. As soon as I closed the door to the entrance hallway behind me, someone threw a liquid in my face. I couldn't recognize the attacker, I only caught a glimpse of his shadow. As I was walking upstairs to my apartment, the stinging in my face turned into pain and I realized the mysterious liquid was acid. My parents called the ambulance and the police. They confirmed it was my ex-sweetheart taking his revenge on me. He didn't want anyone else to have me. How could he be so ruthless? And how could I love a cold-blooded tyrant like him? Love is indeed blind, I suppose. They arrested the perpetrator, but they couldn't give me back my face. The acid burn was severe. Even after I recovered from the tissue necrosis, it left multiple scars and contractures. I lost all sensation of the left side of my face and neck. I can't even smile like I used to. I had always been a jiggler, so this feels like a punishment for laughing too much. I have several plastic surgeries planned out which will hopefully fix my ugly face. My parents and my friends support me, and my gentle and kind nerd doesn't leave my side, catering to my every whim. I think I'm falling in love with him even though I thought him worthless before. He says I remain the most beautiful and attractive girl in the world to him. He motivates me to keep studying and to keep hoping I'll get my beauty back one day.
Would you like to see more episodes? Support us by hitting like and subscribe. If you want to see your story in one of our videos, send it to this email address.